Good morning, everyone. Thank you for coming in today, even if medyo masama yung panahon natin. By the way, I'm Sandra Nicolas. I'm the Developer Evangelist of Microsoft Philippines. And this morning, we're going to have a talk on developing innovative applications for mobile devices by Mr. Jojo Aizon. He's been with Microsoft Philippines for 10 years and is now connected with San Miguel Telco, also an MVP.
Good morning. Okay, you can hear me naman even without the mic because small room. Okay, so as Sandra mentioned, I was with Microsoft for several years. I'm currently with San Miguel Corporation, the food and beverage entity, and I'm with this telco project. Okay, so what does that mean? So in short, we're coming up as a competitor to Globe and Smart. So it's not a big secret. It's been in the news, but I guess most consumers won't be aware of our existence yet, because we haven't launched it. Anyway, so my role in that organization is, among other things, my role is I'm in charge of the developer community for mobile applications. Okay, so what does that mean? So come the time that we do launch, simply it would be nice to have applications running on cell phones for our telco. Okay, so it's going to be a little different from what Globe and Smart does. But anyway, I'm not here to talk about the telco industry. We're here to talk about innovation and application development. The reason I introduced what I do is because when I joined San Miguel, so I did some research on application development for phones. That was my mandate. That was why they hired me to begin with. So I looked it up, and I was looking for Filipino mobile developers. Okay, so I'll talk to you about that as I go through the talk. Okay. So what to expect from this? First, I am not a developer. So my question now to you guys is, who here are developers? Raise your hands. Well, you're in this event, so I'm assuming you're developers. Who are not developers in this room? Okay. So if you're not developers, what are you? Okay, that's good considering the nature of this activity. Okay. Who else are not developers here? So aside from these two gamers here, you guys are developers? Yes? Come on. I know it's rainy. I know it's sleepy. Come on, let's have some activity here. Okay, so I will assume, since you're shy to say so I assume most of you here are developers, right? Yes? No? Okay, good. Okay, I am not a developer. So my talk has nothing to do with actual game development or mobile development. Okay, I'll be talking about, in general, mobile applications. Okay. Now, I'm here to give you a reality check. Okay, about where we are as Filipino mobile application developers. Okay, where things are. I've been looking far and wide for them, and they're hard to find. I'll explain why in a while. Okay, I'm here to give you a few ideas about thinking about good ideas. Okay, so I'm not here to tell you, hey, you should develop this, you should do this, or this is going to be a cool game. I'm not going to do that. I will put some ideas into your head about how do I think of this really cool idea, which could eventually, and as tacky as it may sound, sell. Okay? I'll say right now, it's still part of my talk later down the line, but I'm sure that if you are a developer, you want to develop a mobile app. I said, I'm not going to concentrate on games, but if you want to create a mobile application in general, my assumption is eventually you'd want to make money out of this. I will assume that you just don't want to make free apps out of the goodness of your heart and give them away. right? Let's face it, applications that are successful are paid applications because the developer who made it wants to get something out of it. And if they are distributed for free, they still make money out of advertising and other things, right? There's no free application out there which is totally free. Okay, I will not get into an open source discussion. Okay. So, the quest for apps. Okay, with this slide, let me tell you now that with due respect to our sponsors, Microsoft, for this event, I'm talking about cross-platform development. And I'll talk about more of this later on. Okay, so you as developers, you really shouldn't be thinking too much about developing just for one platform. Okay, so if you look at the breadth of applications that exist out there that are very successful, they are cross-platform. Right, so I think it's my next slide. Okay, Angry Birds is an example, right? It's available on iOS. It's available on Android. It's now available for the Windows Phone. It's available on well, cross PC because of Chrome, and basta, you can play it on any platform right now, diba? I was having a discussion outside earlier about when you come to games themselves, diba? I mean, it would be great if you are available also on multiple platforms. If you are on the PS2 or you're on the Xbox, if you are a game developer, for example EA, and you have a game which can be played on any platform, good for you. Diba? I mean, there are platform exclusive titles like Halo is exclusive for Xbox, but then that's because, you know, Xbox needed a killer game when it was launched. Okay? But still, the idea is you have something which can run across multiple devices, multiple platforms. That would be great. Let me go back to that first slide. Oops. Okay. Stay put. Okay, never mind. Okay, fine. I'm moving forward. Okay. So again, so we're talking about the mobile phone, and we're talking about applications available on on those mobile phones. So some bits of data around that. So how many applications are available on iOS right now? Would you know?
Around 200,000.
Actually, it's close. It's actually around, based on the number, around 400,000 applications currently currently approved by Apple for iTunes. You are correct in the sense that there are around 250 applications currently available on iTunes. So why the discrepancy? Old applications checked in before, minsan tinatanggal if they're out of date or hindi sinusupport ng developer, etc. I'll give you an example of one application later. Android's reportedly to have more applications available on the marketplace. So, depending on which date you believe, it's around 500,000 applications for Android. For Windows Phone, it's reached over 100,000 that are currently available for the Windows Phone 7. Okay. There are significantly less applications available for OV and for BlackBerry. Okay, but of those hundreds of thousands of applications, most people are only aware of a few applications, right? Again, you've got your games like Angry Birds that everyone knows about, whether or not they've installed it on their device or not. And then you have utility applications like Facebook, Foursquare, Dropbox, etc. Oh, by the way, before I proceed, how many here have smartphones? Okay. You know the difference between a smartphone and a feature phone, right? Okay, so the smartphones include those that are iOS, Android, Windows Phone, BlackBerry, some versions of Nokia, Samsung, so forth and so on. Okay. Oh, that's a logo I forgot to put here, Samsung. Anyway, their development app platform's crap anyway. Okay, so what was I saying before I said crap? Oh, the number of applications. Okay, there are hundreds of thousands of applications available, but you don't hear about them for some strange reasons, right? Maybe lack of marketing, etc. For example, okay, there are a lot. Again, we know that there are a lot of Android applications out there, but a lot of them are either really crappy, one, or two, they're good, but you don't hear about them. Like if you look far enough, you'll find an interesting application that no one knows about. Okay, and that of course factors in other things like marketing, promotion, etc. So if you've gone to the marketplaces of either, for example, if you've gone to iTunes or you've gone to the Android marketplace, laging may mga featured applications, di ba? These are the ones that are chosen. These are the ones that are downloaded most often. That's how they get featured. Okay, good for them, di ba? But kawawa naman yung mga applications that no one knows about. Okay, some might be really bad, but some are really good, but just due to lack of marketing, no one knows about it. Okay. Now, if you go to those marketplaces again, that's why this next slide is up. Where are the Filipino apps? Okay, so diba, I told you in the start, my objective was to talk to Filipino application developers. Okay, where are they? Where are these Filipino apps? Does anyone know of any popular Filipino app, with exception to content applications like Click the City, the Inquirer application, the GMA application, etc. With exception of those type of applications, do you know of any successful Filipino application? Wala. Okay. I don't know of any successful Filipino application. I'm not saying there aren't any, pero hindi sila kilala as Filipino made. Okay, and when we talk about Filipino made, the company that owns that application is a Filipino company. Of course, it's possible that there are Filipino developers behind that, but we don't know who they are. Okay, so where are the Filipino apps? I don't know. Okay, I know of one which is no longer on iOS. A friend of mine made a Game of the Generals application. Do you know what Game of the Generals is? Okay, he made a Game of the Generals application. A friend of mine put it on iTunes. I tried to get a screenshot of it since a month ago. Wala na. Hindi ko na mahanap. Okay. It was a Game of the Generals. And kahit kaibigan ko siya, I can tell you, ang pangit yung application. Ang pangit tignan. It played well, pero it's a little ugly aesthetically. No. Bear that in mind when I go later on. So Filipino apps, if any exist, they're really shallow. Okay, which begs to mind, why are Filipino applications very shallow? Okay, so this does not just go for mobile applications, but if you go a little further, do you know of any successful, unique Filipino application on any platform, whether it be a PC or mobile device? I know of a few off the top of my head, but they're not unique. They're even copies of something that already exists. Have you heard of? Okay, my apologies, Sandra. Who here have iPhones? Okay, have you heard of an application called PicLife? PicLife.
What?
PICLYF. PicLife is a Filipino application developed in Cebu. It's one of those photo applications. You take a picture, and then you upload it to the web, you can post it on Facebook, etc. It's like Instagram, or the host of other photo applications that exist there. So it's nice, it's interesting, but it's not unique. Okay, it's cute in a way. The back end, all the pictures are hosted off Amazon Cloud Services. It's a nice